Hi everyone, I'm Dave Koken. It is the Monday edition of Proline. I'm by myself today, so I'll get to rattle on about a few different things. First, let me get the good stuff out of the way. Free plays each day. You're actually going to get the free play for the day in this recording, so no real need to call today. But my daily free plays are available on a taped message. That's on a toll-free number, 1-888-712-6800. It's 1-888-712-6800. You can also get them sent via text message, direct to your cell phone. All you need to do on that is just text my name, Koken, C-O-K-I-N, to 313131, and within seconds each day you'll receive back a text message with that day's free play. So again, that's Koken to 313131. All weekend long, including today, I've been putting my Under the Hat plays on the websites for $10. And one of the websites you can go to is ProlineTV.com, which you should check out every day for offers, information, all kinds of good stuff on there. Go to ProlineTV.com. You'll get my Monday Under the Hat play for $10. One yesterday's, which was a nice underdog play in the Orioles against Tampa Bay. About a plus 120 or so payoff on that. So definitely worth your while to spend the $10. It's another underdog on tonight's card as well. And again, it's available for $10 at ProlineTV.com. Okay, let's go to a little baseball conversation. And obviously, I would like to spend, I don't know, the next several days talking about the Red Sox sweeping the Yankees in New York for the first time since 2004. It's a good omen, isn't it? I believe it was in April of 2004 was the last regular season sweep of a 3-game series the Red Sox had at Yankee Stadium. And we all know what happened in 2004. So maybe history about to repeat itself, I hope, as a Red Sox fan. We'll see if it continues or not. The Red Sox still certainly cannot come out of this series and say, well, that's it, we're okay now, because they still have issues. John Lackey, wow, that's not going well at all. Daisuke, who knows? You know, some of his numbers are okay, some of them are scary. He's giving up 58% fly balls, which is that is a god-awful percentage of fly balls, and if you give up that many fly balls, you're going to give up home runs. So he's got to cut that down and get some more balls that are on the ground or in the infield, because 58% fly balls is not going to cut it. Now, some of those were infield pops, but it really wasn't that great a percentage. So he's giving up some balls that could easily go out of the ballpark with a little bit of a luck factor. That's something to worry about. So the Red Sox not out of the woods yet. Tampa's the team right now which is in first place. They're there because they're getting timely hitting and excellent pitching once again. Joe Madden doing a terrific job, and it'll be interesting to see what happens with the Yankees-Rays series that starts tonight. The Yankees, of course, in some trouble right now. They're on a losing streak. The pitching issues are not going away for this baseball team. In fact, if you look at the bullpen, I mean, outside of Mariano, the best guy out there has been David Robertson. So they're not doing what they would like to do, and it's becoming more and more apparent the Yankees will have to go out and get a body, and a good one, to make a serious run, I would think, this season. They've got a good offense, there's no question about that, but still, even the offense has some issues. Jeter, outside of the one-game explosion, basically, has really struggled. Jorge Posada, you know, I was joking around on Facebook. He has every right to complain about hitting 9th in the Yankee lineup. He actually should be hitting 8th in the Trenton lineup. Posada's literally not hitting his weight right now, and he can't catch anymore, so he's going to have to adapt to this DH situation. I don't know, maybe he can't do it. We'll have to wait and see. So it's becoming pretty interesting what's happening in the Eastern Division. What was projected to be the Red Sox and Yankees churning it out in the battle for first place doesn't look like it right now. Tampa is better than people thought once again, despite losing a whole bunch of people from last year's squad. And the Orioles in Toronto. Toronto might have the best player in the game right now in Bautista. He's got up to 16 home runs already. The Orioles are a capable squad. And if Brian Mattis comes back healthy, they get a little more interesting. I don't think they've got enough to be a pennant contender, but you know, they're not a soft touch. So the division is certainly not just a two-team runaway at this point in time. Another division to look at, and this is where today's free play will come from, is the National League Central, where it's starting to look as though the Reds might have enough to pull away from some of these teams. Look, the Pirates have done a respectable job, but they're not going to hang around in this race. The Astros are just a bad team, so you can forget about them. The Cubs, one week they might look like they're contenders, but I don't think there'll be enough consistency with the squad to maintain that. And that leaves the Cardinals and the Reds, and the Cardinals just got swept by the Reds. Not a good weekend for them. The upside, though, for St. Louis is still there. There are certain things they have to settle on. The Vasquez deal as closer didn't work out. He's now been removed, and it looks like they're going to Salas and maybe back to Boggs again. This is becoming a problem area for St. Louis, and this is one of those situations where I will again argue with the stat freaks, and I am a stat freak myself, but on this issue I completely disagree with them. I have this argument all the time with them about you don't need to have a closer. You can do it with any... No, that's not true. You do need to have a closer. If you don't, the whole bullpen is basically screwed up, and the bottom line is you've got to find somebody who is capable of going out there and getting that ninth inning shutdown. Right now, the Cardinals don't have anybody. Ryan Franklin is, well, he's not doing well. The best guy has been Salas, and you wonder why they kind of moved him out of there in the first place. Vasquez has the most interesting stuff because he's got that nasty slider and a pretty good fastball, but his velocity already started to drop, and at 21 he probably wasn't ready for the job, and hopefully they didn't do any damage there. He's just not ready to inherit that job. And I thought that was pretty apparent, really, from the first couple of times he was out there in the closer job, because he got himself in a world of trouble. Got out of it, but it wasn't smooth at all. Salas looks like the best guy. Maybe that can straighten out that area. But looking at the Reds, this is a good team right now. We knew they could hit the ball. That's no surprise at all. The question was, what would the pitching be like? Volquez is still proving to be unreliable. Arroyo is the innings eater guy. But the guys who look really good right now, the two guys who were hurt to start the season, Homer Bailey and Johnny Cueto. Cueto's had two really good performances. So has Bailey. And Bailey's the guy, he pitches tonight against the Reds. This is the guy with the frontline stuff. I don't think Cueto's got frontline stuff. Volquez does, but he has no command. And Arroyo has never been a number one. But this is the guy, and you know, forget about Wood is not a number one at this point. Mike Leake is back in the minors. So the guy who can really step forward here is Homer Bailey, who's always at top of the rotation stuff. But the question of Bailey was, according to what I was told, going back a couple of years, not the most coachable guy in the world. There may have been a lack of maturity there. There certainly was a lack of consistency, because Bailey could go out and look really good one start and then have the next two starts where he just get crushed, be all over the place. He'd walk guys, get in all kinds of trouble, give up a big fly, and you know, he'd have this ugly line. Now, we're still waiting to see how he'll handle adversity, because that's something that kind of didn't go away yet last year. His not great outings would turn into kind of bad outings, although there were less of them than there had been in the past. I'm still waiting to see what happens when he doesn't have his good stuff on a night, whether he can kind of finagle his way through a lineup and, you know, get the 6 innings and 3 runs that's required on those nights where you really don't have your good stuff. If you're going to be a frontline guy, a number one, you have to be able to do that. I think he might be able to at this point. I can tell you this, when he's got his stuff, you can pretty much forget about getting more than maybe 1 or 2 runs off Bailey. His stuff is electric. You know, he's getting the fastball that gets up there in mid-90s, maybe 97. His secondary stuff is excellent, and he can miss bats. This guy's a good pitcher. I like his chances tonight against the Cubs. You'll have to lay some wood in this one, and that's why it's not on the personal service, because I'm not one who plays big favorites on the personal service. It's not a gigantic number. I think it was about a $1.35, $1.40 range, somewhere in there the last time I checked. Zambrano's on the mound for the Cubs, and he's capable of having a real good game, but it's not as likely as it is that we'll see Bailey have one. And certainly, if you're looking at the offense, you have to give the Reds a big edge right now. They are hitting the snot out of the baseball. Ramon Hernandez had a huge weekend. We already know about Votto. But Dusty plays his favorites for a little while longer than he should, but I think he's finally seeing the light on Johnny Gomes, who had kind of a fluky year last year. Gomes can still go out and hit lefties, but really he's a backup. You can't have him as a regular. He's an awful outfielder defensively. He can't hit right-handers at all. And they're much better off doing what they're doing now, which is getting most of the starts to Chris Heisey or Fred Lewis now that he's back from the DL. Lewis can get some stuff done against righties, and he's got speed in the outfield too, which gives them a really fast outfield. Stubbs, solid guy. I think I mentioned Joey Votto, who, you know, he's as good as anybody in the game. Brandon Phillips often gets overlooked. The guy's tremendous. This is a really good baseball team, and Scott Rowland's getting back healthy now as well, so that's another plus for this squad. They look like the team to beat in the National League Central to me right now, and they look like the team that's going to get the win tonight in their matchup with the Chicago Cubs. So we'll go with the Reds as the free play for Monday. Don't forget, go to ProlineTV.com, get that Under the Hat play. It's on an underdog, and it's only $10 at ProlineTV.com. And we'll talk to you with another edition of Proline tomorrow. See you later.